What's happening, YouTube? Kenny back into the how-to video coming to you straight from quarantine, and today we're taking out the AC out of this motherfucking car. Hopefully in this video you all gonna see everything. We're gonna take out the hard lines, the intercooler, compressor, but I'm also gonna take out the evaporator inside underneath the passenger dash. I'll show y'all how to do that real quick. If y'all like what you see, go ahead and check out my channel. There's probably gonna be more videos you fuck with, and if y'all fuck with them, y'all, you know, subscribe, like, you can share them if you the homie, all that. I've been saying no mas, let's get straight into what you're gonna need. Okay, this is what you're gonna need as far as product wise. This is to delete the evaporator. If you don't want to delete the evaporator, then you don't need this piece. This is what goes underneath the dash. And I read in different forums that this is what you need to continue to use the defroster in the front windows. So hopefully that worked. This duct was about $42. This right here, most important, this is the belt you're going to need to retain your power steering but delete the AC. This is the belt you're gonna need. There you go, y'all can take a screenshot of that right there. You don't need this exact screw, but you need a 45 mil M8 1.25. I'll label it right here, but this is the type of bolt I decided to go with. This bolt came in a set with different sizes in case I got it wrong. I think it was about $10. All links will be in the description below. Go have your engine bay looking nice. Look at all this room we got. Look at all that room. Just like that. I'm gonna show you exactly how to get it. Took off the AC fan. To be fair, there's not an under tray or a splash guard. Look how clean. No more compressor, no more heater cord. Look at that. Air just goes right to the radiator. Everything removed: the fan, the heater cord, hard lines, soft lines, compressor, evaporator, all the brackets and the hardware. Easily around 50 pounds that you lose off the car. Come on, look how much open everything is. Look at all that. Look at all that. No extra pulley, no hoses rubbing against anything. And we still have access to cool air in the car. I can also turn the heat, warm air, and the frosters work as well. If y'all can go ahead and watch my AC update video, it should be up tomorrow, so by the time y'all watching it, it should be up already. I addressed two things I did wrong when I did the AC. One of them, I put a different belt size than the one I originally showed. The one you're gonna see in this video works fine, but I do change it in the next video. I also go into a little bit more detail on how not having the AC affect the controls of the car, from AC control to handling. I also showed how I actually made $200 off deleting the AC. Alright, no more talk. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to get your engine bay just like this. Alright, let's get to what you're gonna need as far as tools. You're gonna need 2 adjustable wrenches, a ratchet, couple of extensions, a 10 mil and a 12 mil. Get you a set of Phillip and flathead on hand. I also recommend getting a 10mm wrench. This one has a ratchet and swivel. You don't need it, but a 10mm wrench. Also some penetrating oil and a breaker bar. This is just in case you don't need them. We're also gonna get messy, so I suggest getting you some towels. You're also gonna need a 14mm deep socket. If you don't have a deep socket, no problem. You can either use your crescent wrench or get a 14mm wrench and a 14mm socket, and you're just gonna hold the nut while you unscrew with the socket on the back. Okay, later in the video, you're gonna decide if you wanna delete your radiator fan or you wanna run it parallel. You're gonna need some electrical tape and your wire tool and a crimp to help you out. If you decide to delete the AC fan, you're gonna need a turkey baster and a pan. That's to remove the coolant all the way down so we can remove the upper radiator hose and be able to take the fan out. That's optional. Okay, to start, we're gonna be taking off the intake from right here on, and I'm gonna be removing the underskirt or the under tray or the splash guard, whatever you want to call it. All right, to remove the intake, you got 112 right there, 12 right there, 12 right there, and you have a 10 right here. And right there, we're gonna use a Phillips to take off this duct. Get your flathead screwdriver, and right here you want to push these pins out, and then that will release the plug. Alright, for the undersplash guard, there are 7 10mm bolts. 1, 2, 3 right there, 4, 5, and on the passenger side 6, and then 7. It's gonna be hard for me to show you guys, but those are the bolts we're taking off. 2 more. You also have 2 more 10mm bolts, so that's gonna be 8 and 9. Alright, perfect. Look at all the room we got now. We can see clearly all the lines we have to work with. Can clearly see which line goes to where. Buying a little bit more light underneath the engine bay. We can now clearly see the compressor going underneath the car. We can now see the lines that attach to the heater core. See exactly the lines that we need to take off all the way. This also gives us access to all these hard lines and give us a lot more room, because it's going to be hard to take this compressor out. So I think dropping it is going to be the best plan, especially the heater core. I'm also going to remove our window wash cleaner reservoir. That way we gain better access to these hard lines right there, and it's being held down by 10mm bolts. One right there and one right there. I'm also going to unplug it from right here. Alright, just move this out of the way. Now we can see better what we have to work with. So get your crescent wrenches, tie them both on. Ouch. Fuck. Make sure your lines don't have any refrigerant in them. If you still got refrigerant, take it to a mechanic. They'll be happy to take it off you. Mine didn't have any refrigerant, so that's why I'm already loosening the lines. Alright, don't worry if you can't take out the lines all the way. There's actually two 10mm brackets. You can see one's right there, and you got another one right there if y'all can see it. We're gonna take both of them out. Alright, next thing you don't want to take off. By the way, you can do this without jacking up the car. It's just easier. And plus I'm recording so I can give you guys better angles. Anyways, to remove these two hard lines, if we follow them, we're gonna have to unscrew this one right here. This one's on the side of the radiator. And if you follow this big one leads to this one right here that we're also gonna take off. What's in between it is this U-shaped one that also needs to get taken off. So we're gonna remove all four of these big nuts right here. All right, so I was able to get all the lines off. I didn't show it because it's exactly the same at the top. These are all different sizes, so I really recommend using a crescent wrench instead of using regular wrenches. So I got that one off too. The only one I wasn't able to get off is right here, the one in the front. This was a total pain. I used like all my strength, but it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna waste time on it. Remember how I told you that this was a U-turn right here? This is connected to the heater core. I'm just gonna let it drop with the heater core. So all we need to do is release the U-turn from the radiator, because it's connected from this little bracket. That's a 10mm. That goes ahead and drops that. Make sure these hoses are out. We can go ahead and release them from right here too. These are both 10mm. All right, that one's out. Be careful when you remove these lines. Some liquid came out of them. Okay, so just be careful with that. I don't even know what that is. Is that like refrigerant? All right, now these lines should be ready to come off. Simply wiggle them out. My fault. We do have to disconnect the fan wire. It's connected right here. Cool. Continue wiggling the harness through. We're gonna pull it out from the bottom. Perfect. Okay, after you do that, I spent some time carefully looking at all this wiring, and I determined that this fan is no longer needed. This is your AC fan. This is the fan on the passenger side. This is what you just unplugged right here. So what I'm gonna do, you guys see me crimp so much before, I'm not gonna show it. These two grounds, I'm going ahead and cut the top wire that's running to this harness, and I'm just gonna crimp these two wires so they can run together. And then I'm gonna cut this blue wire down that's also being connected to the harness, and I'm gonna electrical tape to itself not to cause a short. And then I'm gonna electrical tape this all back together. All right, there you go. It's nice and crimped. Now I'm gonna get this all electrical taped and covered up. That's the finished product. There you go. Electrical tape all up. That's the relay. Now time to remove the AC fan, and that's held on by 4 10mm bolts, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. Damn. I do. Please don't make a mess. Please don't make a mess. Hey, let's go. Okay, since I didn't want to release the sway bar to take out the fan, I'm going to have to take out the main fan in order to slide the AC fan towards the driver's side. and then pull it out up because it doesn't clear the radiator hose mount right here. The main radiator fan has the same 4 screws in the same location as the AC fan. Okay, now it's time to drop the heater coil. You got one bolt right here and one directly on top, and you have one right on top right there and another one right here. Those 4 are 10mm bolts. Let's get to it. Okay, so once you got those bolts removed, the only thing is holding it is that one nut that was holding on. So you got that bracket. So the heater cord should just come right out. With some finagling. Oh shit, don't follow me. Oh, there you go. That's the heater cord. Oh. Okay, next thing to do is to loosen the tensioner on the power steering to release the belt. That way we can take out the power steering and access the 4 bolts on the compressor and drop the compressor. This tensioner is a 12mm bolt.
Stop it until quarantine stops.
Okay, right now I'm trying to release the tension on the belt by releasing the tension on the pulley. So I took off these 2 bolts that was connecting this little block. But what I have to do is take off this bolt right here. Now this bolt, I have to turn over the engine until this is poking out on this side right here, if that makes sense. So right now I'm gonna turn over the engine by starting it. It's gonna turn off because right now the airflow meter isn't connected, so it's gonna keep powering down, but I'm gonna have to keep trying to turn the engine over until I can see that bolt and loosen it.
No way, Jake. Got it? First try.
Let's go. So that's exactly the bolt we want to see, and that's what we're gonna take off to release the tension. Okay, we have to use a 14mm deep socket in order to get this bolt off, and it's releasing the tension. This nut of mine is stripped, so I gotta be extra careful. But now, after loosening it, it should compress it, and now we can push it all the way down and take the belt off. Perfect. Since we're moving the whole power steering unit away so we can access the compressor, you're gonna want to take off that 14mm tensioner nut and the bolt holding it in the back. Alright, now we're gonna take off the compressor. This is being held on by 4 bolts. They're 12mm. You got 2 right here at the bottom and 2 on the top. One right there and one right there. Let's start with the bottom. 1. Alright. Oh shit.
It dropped?
Yeah. Alright. Let's just let it fall. That's a good 30 pounds off the car. I forgot to show it, but make sure you unplug this wire before you take it off. It's right there connecting to this. Okay, the last thing we need to do is remove this bracket that's being held on by 4 14mm bolts. So you see right there? And 1 12 right here. And this is the one that has to get replaced. So make sure you have your replacement bolt because oil will leak from here when you take it out. Alright, now we're removing the 12mm bolt. Sorry it didn't show me taking off these 4. I actually cut my fingers, so my friend had to take off the 4 bolts. Alright, so right now I have to stop because I'm waiting for an alternator belt to come in. It should be in O'Reilly's about 2. All we need to do is plug up that oil hole right there, put the belt on, put the tensioner back on, and then put the intake back. But since we're waiting, we're gonna go ahead and start working on the evaporator. The evaporator is on the passenger side right underneath the dash. You can access by taking off the glove compartment. The glove compartment is being held on by 2 bolts. One right there and one right there. We'll take both of them off with a Phillips head and this will come right out. Just pop it up. Falls right out. Now we can see our evaporator. We have 2 10mm bolts, one right there, one right at the top. Okay, next we're gonna pull off these tabs. We got one right here. And then we got one way in the back. You can see where my hand is. Right there, I just flipped it. Right there. Okay, after that, remove this tube. Okay, so it actually just slid right out. It was very dry, and this is all the stuff that was stuck in the tube, and that's all that came out this tube right now. Okay, I decided to remove this bar so we'll be able to drop it easier. It's just being held on by 2 screws. One right here, this is a Phillips head, and another one right here, which is an 8mm and a Phillips head. I used the 8mm to break it, and then I went with the Phillips head because it's just in an awkward place right here because you can't really fit the ratchet. Oh, is being held down by one more Phillips head right here. The bar just falls out, and now this should just drop. Gonna take some wiggling and finessing, but it should just drop. Just remove all the clamps out the way. I forgot about these two wires right here. You're gonna have to disconnect them. They're two wires and two separate harnesses. They just slide right out. All right, with those two wires off, now it should just wiggle out. Bro, deleting this makes me so glad, dude, because I would hate to have to replace it. All this stuff, the evaporator, heater core, hard lines, compressor, bracket, fan, and all the hardware, easily think it's about 50 pounds. All right, now we're left with the gaping hole from right here to that triangle, and two holes right there, which we need to plug up. This was 42 bucks on eBay. Literally just search up AC delete and this will come up. If it's necessary, I'll reuse the brackets. Really, they weren't even doing anything. They weren't tight at all. Plus, I bent one of them. So if it fits snug, I won't reuse those. But obviously the triangle end fits on the triangle end, and the square end or rectangle fits on that end. All right, that fit nice. Oh, that went on really easy. All right, I'm happy with that. Yeah, I'm not gonna put the clamps on. That's a waste of my time and efforts. I know what y'all thinking. You're like, Candy, what about this tube? Is it gonna leak? Oh my God, I don't just wanna leave this tube right there. How do I take it out? Do I gotta cut the frame? Oh my God, Candy, what do I do? What tube? What tube? You heard me? What tube? All right, we're gonna reinstall the bar. That sits right underneath the dash. Sits up the exact way you took it out. Okay, next the glove bar, exact way you took it out. Go ahead and click it into place so it holds. Then make sure the prongs go into the holes first before you screw in, just like so. Then reinstall your two screws. Okay, let's put the reservoir back on. First, make sure you plug it in, just like that. There's a little nub right here at the bottom that lines up with that hole down there. Screw your 10 millimeters back in. Okay, next we're going to install the power steering tensioner bolt. That slides in the back where we took it off, and it's going to take some wiggling of the power steering to get it perfectly lined up. After you got the tensioner bolt fully in, this is the belt you're going to need. I wish I would have got it Gates, but this is the one they gave me. It was like $6. There you go. Y'all can take a screenshot of that right there. 34 and 1/8. I would have got 34. This is the one he had in his hands. I said, okay, I'll deal with it. Master Pro on your knee. Got this at O'Reilly's. All right, go ahead and get your belt. Put it over the crank pulley first and give it over your power steering. Make sure your power steering is at the farthest push down. That way it gives you the most leeway for the tensioner. Then picking it back up tightens the tensioner. Like I said, I would have went with the 34-inch. See, mine's a little different from factory. It's gonna be a little bit more expand, but that's fine. It still meets the tensioner. We still have room to play with. Okay, if you took your tensioners off, make sure you put them back on. Loosely tighten this bolt first. Then you're gonna slide this bolt through the back of both brackets. So as you see, both brackets, then through the cube right there. Finish it off with your nut. Get your lock nut that went behind the tensioner. I got a new one because the other one was stripped. It goes through the pulley. That's a 14 mil. Make sure you use your deep socket. It's a 14 mil bolt with a 14 mil nut. You can use your crescent wrench to hold the bolt. I'm using another 14 mil socket. Okay, hopefully y'all ain't a dumbass like me and didn't get a 15 mil nut. All right, just to show y'all real quick what I did, since I didn't have a 15 mil deep socket, or if you guys don't have a deep socket at all, go ahead and stick the wrench in between the pulley system so that you're able to grab hold of that nut in the back, and then put your 14 mil on the other side and torque it down through the bolt in the back. Okay, after you got the tensioners tightened, if you saw what I was doing, I was pushing down with my palm right here and holding the wrench at the same time and torquing it down through the bolt on this side right here. So after you got it tightened, you want to get this 14 mil. That's if you took off everything like I did. Tighten down this 14 mil back. If you didn't take it off like I did, just tighten it because you did have to loosen it. After that's tightened, you're going to want to pull this cube as far as possible upwards. Then go ahead and tighten it. There you go. Then with this tensioner bolt, you're gonna go ahead and tighten it, not too tight, but as tight as it goes. All right, after that, if you got a little bit tight, snugged, you're gonna wanna loosen this back out. These are all 12s, by the way. Then you're gonna wanna retighten your tensioner. This is gonna pull this bolt forward for you. Then we go back and tighten both these bolts down. And there you go. Go ahead and press on the belt. Nice and tight. All right, next, get one of the 10 mil bolts that you had extra and go ahead and put it on that bracket right there just to secure the harness, the wiring harness. If you notice, I did replace the alternator belt, so I did move this around. You guys are gonna see that in vlog number 11. That's the next vlog, Wednesday, next week. All right, next thing, we're gonna put back the fan. And since we deleted the radiator fan, you're only gonna use the main cooling fan. It's this one right here. It has the yellow label. It also has A on it. It's oriented to either the small side, so the open sides are down. Slide that down under. If you took those 10 mils out, go ahead and screw them in slightly so it can fit the fan. It's good to go under the car and guide the fan into the bolts. Then go ahead and tighten down all 4 bolts. These are all 10 mil bolts. Don't forget to plug in your fan. Now we're gonna go ahead and top off the radiator. Okay, next thing we're gonna do, put our intake in. That's the same way we took it out. Go ahead and drop it onto its studs. Connect the 2 tubing together. Slide the clamp over and tighten it. All right, grab your 12s, put the nut on there. Drop the 12s in. Don't forget about your airflow meter sensor. Clicks on. Go ahead and slide your intake tubing in. Connect it to the air filter box. Fit your 10 mil bolt through the duct into the bracket and into the hole. Okay. I spilled oil underneath the car, so I'm not going to be filming me putting on the splash guard, but it's the same thing. I'll show you all the bolts. And I'm honestly heavily debating not putting it on. The only reason why I'm putting it back on is because it's not damaged. It is bent and it low-key broke right. You know what? Nah, I ain't putting it back in. Alright guys, that's it. AC deleted. Brand new belts too. I love it. I love that there's no fan right here. No more weird thing that I didn't know what it really was. Looking way more open right here for sure. All the way up to right there. Gotta plug up those holes. I'm just gonna stuff some towels in there for right now so I can figure out a better solution. Bro, I'm so excited. This is the start of the engine bay mods. The first thing you gotta do is delete the AC to make room for everything else. Can't wait to take this fat monster out. Can't wait for this to be gone. Can't wait for this to be gone. Can't wait for that to be gone. All together, I think I easily made 50 pounds. I don't have a scale, but for sure, if I put all this stuff on a scale, it's good. Cool thing is, I actually made money off this. I sold everything right here you see. Sold it for 200 bucks. So cool, I actually made money in this how to. If y'all made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching. Yo, I almost forgot the bolt. Make sure you plug up that bolt right there. It will leak oil if you don't plug it up. This is an M8 1.25 45 millimeter bolt. This is the hex bit. You don't need this one, but this is what I'm putting in. Do not forget this bolt. Get that nice and tight. Okay, now we're officially done. Thank y'all so much for watching. Hope it was super detailed. You got any questions, leave them down in the comments. Once again, if you like what you see, you thought it was super detailed, go ahead. I bet you're gonna like some more things in my channel. Go ahead and share with your friends. Don't forget, there's vlogs coming out every Wednesday nights and how-tos coming out every Sunday. Thank y'all so much for watching. Bye.